Hello. Well, I've only got about half an hour until the boys are back. I've been with my mum. It's absolutely pouring it down. So I'm hoping that might delay them just a little bit slightly, just to give me some headspace for a minute. I find things very hard um, with my mum because I suppose for her it's going to be a lot of acceptance when I finally get this scan that it's just been cranial instability all this time. And that's going to be a lot for people to deal with. I mean, when this is all finished and done, that's going to be a lot for people to deal with. I mean, imagine, oh shit, just 2 seconds because my neck really is killing me. Imagine having a child and your child is constantly telling you that they are in pain and you are telling them that they are not in pain and they are telling you that it hurts, like my shoulder hurts, my knee hurts, my neck hurts, and everyone just treats you like, oh my goodness, there's always something up with you, there's always something wrong with you, why is there always something wrong with you, you know. And when the manager was here the other day, she was actually really lovely, to be honest, and she sent me this email that's really fucking triggered me off, and I need to respond to it. And I'd like a lot of you to help me with this as well, because oh, my back's hurting. I can't get into my other emails to read it to you, but she's basically asked me where I did my psychology degree, what year, and if I covered the cycle of trauma. Well, that was the very first lecture that I stood up in psychology and said I disagree with this. And it's because people recognise trauma as being sexual abuse, physically harmed, emotionally abused. But one, they don't understand what emotional abuse is. Yes, we understand sexual abuse, but for years and years and years and years, children that have spoken out about people violating their physical body haven't been believed. And we have lived in a generation of years and years and years of children being seen and not heard. I mean, this has been going on for generations and generations. We have civilized as, oh, did you hear my jaw go then? That was my jaw. My jaw just popped, sorry. And we've become orchestrated, organized as a society, but we haven't become, we're now having to revoke to sort of like social boundaries with everybody, because we haven't learned as people. Like, we were all just thrown in a cage at school and forced to sit down next to people that we have to sit down with and learn to get on with people and listen to people that we don't know and not part of our lives. I mean, Mrs. Robinson I loved because my dad was doing building work for her and she was in a different part of our life and stuff. But you know, we're forced to live in colonizations and things. It's still going to aggravate me. Dean's not getting here until tomorrow morning. He's going to pick some money up. It's like, how much money do you need? Well, I'll go and make that then. But until he can actually sit down with me and go, like, what's on my door now? And go, hang on, my next. So most of us pay, oh, see, I'm going to have to do it backwards because my neck really hurts. So most of us pay rent or a mortgage. Council tax is law, car tax is law, car insurance is law, electric they can cut off, gas they can cut off, water in and out they can't cut off, and then obviously house insurance, and then things like repairs, maintenance, our phones, which is becoming a necessity, not luxury, petrol, which is a necessity, food, which is a necessity, clothes, which is a necessity unless you want to live with prior to leaves being put over us, equipment for the things that you need, a necessity, being that we're only allowed officially out still by rules to exercise, because we're still being asked to work from home, we're still being asked to stay at home, we're still being asked to follow the track and trace, which I don't actually have. So in order to go and exercise, you need good solid footwork. So you need your footwear for your trainers, your shoes, your bags that you pack your things in to go in. So in my family, bags are quite important because we've got obviously my rucksack that comes out with me, and then we've obviously got the boys' rucksacks and bags and things, and then the big and really important bag, and the massive important bag, is going to be my fucking filing cases and my legal bags. And I've had to collect all these stuff from bins. This is all from bins. I haven't paid for this stuff. Ow, 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 ow. One's just done one shoulder. Oh. All these absolute lovely bags, all to go with my nice little soups and things as I kick these people's asses. I think I can take guns, aerosols, poisons, sprays and things. I'm joking. Don't joke to people like this. They haven't got a sense of humour. Oh, seriously, I'm feeling every pain, every element. It's because I'm not training. It's because I'm not swimming. And this is why I get so ratty. Because I know what I need. I know the health that I need. I know the schedule and plan that I need. And it's like, how do you enforce it? Like, say at that time that bailiff knocked at my door, say it was a physio time for my kids, and I had to stop and open the door to that person who's interrupted my schedule, being as an autistic Asperger's person who has to like to really stick to their schedules and activity times because we're like that, or whatever. Or whether people want to say that I'm a psychopath or a sociopath or a cluster B psychopath or whatever, yeah? You have a stable period and you have an unstable period. You know when you're stable and you know when you're not stable. I know that by being paid on the 18th of the month fries my fucking head. Fries my fucking head. It does. I can't handle it. So now I got Mr. Stewart that wants money off me, that wants me to take it off this person to pay to this person, and me roller skate money sitting up here that probably will end up getting eaten into to the normal household bills. And then my mum's already given me birthday money that's already gone to pay for the personal training company that is an absolute crap fucking thing. PT Academy, by the way, won't even print off the fucking manual and send me a fucking manual. It's all downloadable. I can't work like that. Yeah? Just like these people don't just send me a downloaded letter. They send me an actual printed... They pay for the letter to be printed and brought to me. Yes, I want tangible fucking product. If I'm paying £1,000, mate, I want a tangible fucking product. I want to be able to train. I want to be able to put my manual in front of me and go gluteus maximus, doodah, and be able to write all over my fucking folders. I don't want a downloadable fucking thing online. No, not for £1,000, mate. Joke. Absolute bollocks. Send me a fucking manual. Print it with your nice brand on it and everything. And I want a nice little introduction pack as well. That doesn't mean I pay for my t-shirt. I want a nice bag turning up with my freaking training manual in it, a water bottle, and a list of everything that I can buy from you to set up my own personal training program. And if you can't do that, fuck off the fucking remit, and I will slam your freaking branding down and make sure that nobody comes through your sale pitch company. Simple as that. And I'll bring that into court too, because I've been forced as a mother and a person with a physical condition to have to go and learn my physical body myself. Yes, we do this in science, in PE, but not to the level of somebody like me that has to understand it to a level so I know full well when I'm doing a squat that I'm going over my knees properly, not pulling my back out. I need someone to work with me. So anyway, the plan is, because obviously this is meant to be going into studio, his Dean's on his way back tomorrow, and as long as all goes well, I'm coming into the dog's bed. I call this the dog's bed. Dean gets kicked into the dog's bed with the kids when he's here, by the way, because officially we're not together, but we are, and we've been together for 6 years now. 6 years in July. Wow, he's still here. People said he wouldn't even come back and see his kids, for fuck's sake. He's still here. He still comes back to see his kids. It doesn't matter whether I'm a cunt, mate. If that man says he's coming to see his kids, he comes to see his kids. And sometimes they just have to stay here in the dog's bed, out my ranty arsey way, because I'm trying to make sure that my house stays stable. So now Dean is slightly starting to understand that this woman has been here gathering. Even my sofa in here was free. I couldn't get a sofa to the old house, so I managed to get one from in the block, and we were able to carry it down, so that was fine. And now, obviously, he's seeing that the children, like, he took Elijah out the other day, and he came in and he said, look, Elijah mentioned his knees, so I thought I better bring him in. And I was like, good, cool, right. And then I have to throw in, yeah, but you don't bloody believe it when my fucking knees hurt, do you? You don't bloody bring me in when my knees. I have to carry on. I have to keep cleaning. I have to keep doing this, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I've got a couple of minutes until my boys are back. Transition over. I'm going to literally just be spending the time with the boys, finishing up the puzzles, and we're just going to have some quiet time with a DVD on and literally just build the puzzles and put all the puzzles into its places and put them in the box ready. So then this living room is then straight. Dean is going to take over the clothes and the washing to keep that going. This is going to be interesting. And fold the clothes and things, which I don't think he's ever actually had to do any of these things. He just throws his clothes on me if he doesn't iron if he doesn't have to. I think he's always had wives that just women baby mamas that just put it in the wardrobe. So obviously that then means I'm going to come and take over the bathroom stuff because he doesn't get how to not flood, and I've already sussed it out. I've been through the trial and error. And then of course it's then about the boys, isn't it? So I've now done, I'm just drying stuff, but I've now done, so obviously this room was pink in here. So I've obviously painted in here. I've put all of the snowboarding stuff away now. So all the winter stuff is now gone. And they still got all their guns though. I don't know how I feel about boys and guns. But obviously big cars and things have made themselves in here now. And I've still got to put away, I've got to actually take away a lot of these clothes, take them out, because some clothes I just kept because it was better than the clothes that they had. So that's all their balls and things like that. So for someone like me, it means it has to be organised. Like that's all my kids' music stuff down there. That's all their animals. That's all their people. That's all their potato heads. That's all like little silly things that don't really go with anything. And some books for this side, puzzles. It's all their blocks. All their art stuff's in there. And I really, really am this particular. So like they know what sort. So if Elijah's looking for his boat, he knows his boat is in here. And then we go to more kiddie toys for Shiloh, which are the hand ones in here. And then we've got sort of like their police stations, fire engines and things in there. And then it's like obviously the bigger, more chunkier cars in there. And then the big cars go in that box there. Oh, I've just found my hat. Thank God for that. And then I am that particular. So this annoys me because if you look behind here, I'll show you. There's shitloads of CDs there. And I like my CDs in the cases. All the U's are in here. All the PGs are underneath the telly in my bedroom. All the 12s are in the cabinet next to it, just in case I've got babysitters. And all the 15s and 18s are in the cupboard next to my bed. So the babysitters, if they're slightly younger, can't watch those sort of films. And they can't allow my children to watch those sort of films. My mum made these. So these were what my mum made for the boys, which have absolute prime. Look, there's some missing. Some of them are around the rest of the house. But look, my mum actually made all of these. I've replaced the boys' telly again because the last one started breaking. And then they've got sort of like their guitar stuff. And I mean, Elijah's already, by the way, to anyone who wants to do their theory test, Elijah can beat you on the theory test already. So he's already ready to do his theory test. Can't quite drive. And then obviously I section the books differently as well. So I have the little books that they can just sort of pick up and just get. So, and I don't mind. These ones I don't mind. They're slightly ripped. It doesn't bother me. Shiloh can just pick them out. Obviously not all of them are, but they're just the little easy ones. And then down here are sort of more the manuals and ready ones that we read to them. Dean does so much reading. These are their education ones. So we've got their GCSE stuff here, even physics and stuff. And yes, I do this stuff with my kids to their own age appropriate, but you'll be quite surprised. Even talking to your children about the light switching on or washing up, or how you know, you'd be really surprised how these things fit into subjects. Going shopping and calculating things is maths. Obviously this is more their level, so this is the stuff that's the level of them working at now. And then obviously we've got all our Bible stories and children Bible stories for when we're reading at night time. And then we've got all the colouring books and things. And then obviously I have the visuals around. Some of them have fallen down for the dates and times and things like that. And, you know, and obviously they have their characteristic stuff. 2 seconds, because this room is made for a child getting through and mother just cleaning it on the other side. So obviously, I mean, they've got the skateboards, they've got the big skateboards, they've got the bikes downstairs that have got to all be put into 2 bikes that work, because at the moment I've got 5 that are too small, too big and things. And then obviously we talk about the world and travelling the world, so we look at everything from a world point of view. But for a mum, when mum's got to go and lock herself in here, people don't realise that mum has a schedule and routine. So even though you don't necessarily see it, when we get up and we turn the kettle on or we make our juices, I'm just seeing if my mum's there. I don't know what time it is. We have like this schedule that goes on, and it might be as simple as turning on the tap, loading up the washing, putting in a wash load, moving the dishes, moving it through, washing it, putting it away when we come in to do another thing, going through, and we might move things around as we go. So for me, straight away, this is my basket, by the way, so this is the only box that mixed toys is allowed to go in. So if I'm having a bad day, I can literally just grab my little Asda trolley basket and I can go in around the room and pick up all the toys. And then literally with this basket, I get to then go into their bedroom and put them back where it belongs and things. Because like things like this, you know, I've got a car box in here. So this is the little cars. So this is all the little cars. And then we've got train bits, Lego bits. This is dinosaurs. This is train sets. And when Dean usually comes, that usually means that, say I go out on my little dimpy hunt, which I don't have to do anymore, but say I did, because I don't really go out and do much at the moment, I'm not there yet, but I would then come back to my kitchen being where I'm really funny, and yes, I'm really fucking funny. Make sure my lids are straight, mate, make sure the tea, sugar, coffee, yeah, because if I come in and I see that, mate, I'm like a banshee. Do you remember that film? Where is it? Where that man used to line all the towels up and things. Yes, I am like this. Yes. Yes, when you go into my cupboards, I know that my medicines and stuff are up here, out the corner, out the kids' way. My glasses, because I haven't got enough room. Got my flour ready for the pizzas and the stuff. Got my teas up there. I know exactly where everything is. Everything has a place. Everything has a space. So like all my grains and stuff go there. My noodles. I'm an absolute nutter for peanut butter. I eat a lot of peanut butter. I like to stick peanut butter on a spoon and eat it off a spoon. All my herbs and things, my packs and stuff. Now when Dean empties the shopping, shall I show you what my fridge looks like at the moment? This is not me. I'll show you what my fridge looks like later. This is Dean. Yeah? That's Dean. Straight away, like, look, why the fuck's that got the wrapper on for a start? Because I take the plastic off of everything. And the bananas have now gone off going in there. And that annoys me now, because they've stayed in the plastic and they've gone in the fridge, it's killed my bananas. And it has. Killed my bananas. So that my bananas didn't need to die, and my bananas could have been quite happy coming out of the plastic and being put out. And then if I do things like this, you know, I keep my butters at the top. Yes, the yogurts would be up there, but that is just fucking chaos for me. All leafy products are at the bottom. I mean, there's plastic on this. I literally, that's annoying me now. I have to take the plastic out. I don't even want your plastics. I don't want your plastics. I have to take the plastics out and put them in. And yes, I am that methodical. I've got eggs down here. Eggs don't belong there. Eggs belong up there. Milks, juices, that's fine. Cheese is in the wrong place. They're in the right place. all my cereals, you know. So, but I do this because if I ever end up in hospital and someone needs to take over my home, I need my home to run smoothly and bills paid, because when the captain comes off the ship sinks. And you can't allow for that to happen, which is why I say about autopilot, which is why me being paid on the 18th doesn't work. I need autopilot on my bank. Money goes in on the 1st, direct debits go out on the 1st, or I pay yearly, pay up front, I don't care. But I can't keep doing this, living every month, payday to payday to payday, living this way. I went to the National Achievers Congress to break through this, and I'm in a worse situation than I was. I've never been on bog standard basic benefits in my life. I've only ever been a student on housing benefit, or what is now PIP, but I hate that word, disability. I fucking hate it. Disabled. This is disabled. This is disabling. This disables me. So, yeah. So anyway, hopefully, I'm going to have to chill for the boys to come in. I'm going to have to put my mummy hat on. Put my mum hat on, which means I love my mum, really. I just wish she understood me. And start processing and getting all this ready for Dean being here tomorrow, for Dean to be able to just... And I'm going to not let it get to me. Because when mum's going get stuff, dad's always go, how long are you going to be? How long are you going to be? Well, I might be a week or two doing this. I might even be 2, 3, 4 weeks doing this. I don't know how long this is going to take. Because when I do this So basically, I've now just sent the email to the Queen's Bench to say the injunction's coming. I really need the printed document, and if Dean's here tomorrow, I can shoot off down to the library, sit in the library and print off the documents that I need. My headspace needs them documents in front of me to be able to work. I need a functional sitting around. My mum has actually offered me a computer at hers, or keep it there for the boys, but it's a computer that's on its way out. And I just can't take that risk at the moment, because if I lose all this work once I do it, I think it would be that quick for me to just go, and there would be nobody to hold me back. I couldn't afford to be in that situation again. So literally, as soon as this document is completely written up with what I'm doing but what I'm basically saying is that under social care, they're coming in and they're abusing people with physical conditions because they're only opening their eyes to sexual, physical, emotional abuse. So say somebody is Asperger's legally diagnosed, they won't then take the Asperger's diagnosis. They will just then go, mother has no empathy, children don't receive empathy. And that's bullshit. That's abusive. You're not allowed to do that, because there's nothing else they can put in it. So then they'll have to give you mental health issues and then go, well, you know, mother's... And then it's all about whether you'll work with the system, and that's what they'll say. Mother won't work with the system. And that all comes from the DSM-5 asking you about when you were at school. And what it's doing is it's denying people the right to go down to their doctors and go, I am so fucking stressed, I could just do with somebody to talk to, and getting that correct help. Or ringing somebody up and saying, hey, I believe you do some stress coaching or some counselling. I could really go a little bit deeper. I've got a little bit of childhood trauma I need to deal with. Paying their fees and just getting on with it. And we shouldn't be fearful of this just because they class it as mental health. Who wants to sit under a batter of people going, oh, you're mad, you're crazy? It brings shame, embarrassment. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Mental health is good. It says that you have mental health. Mental trauma, that's not good. Welcome to my life. Trauma, not good. Trauma cycle, not good. Because I can't just deal with this man coming to my door. I deal with all of the ghosts of every time. So even my children being removed from me, dealing with being arrested at David Cameron's, dealing with every time I've gone up against the police at Downing Street, every time. And it was different back then. I didn't mind. Don't forget, in 2015, before I had a little baby in my belly, when the police came up to me and said, by whose authority are these banners there? I stood there and went, by the Lord's himself. Now go away, you Babylon state. And they walked. But I don't have that same tenacity about me now, because I got 2 little boys. And the thought, lucky Dean was in the house when it happened, but the thought of the police coming with the bailiffs terrifies me. And they may not have any intentions of ever removing my children from me, but I only have to show some form of trauma. and then straight away they pull child protection on you. And they can do this. Even the fact that what they are doing on me now is a inventory of goods taken into control. Well, like I said, what happens when you've got no sheep, no land, and you're not producing milk? What did they used to do in the olden days? Watch all the films, watch all the movies. I ain't fucking mad. It's how the royals used to do it, mate. You come along on their horses. You have to pay your taxes, your bills. Don't forget, Jesus come to stop this, and he didn't succeed. We still live under the same heresy as they did then, as we do now. And there are people that are trying to change this. Who knows? But all I know is in the meantime, people are not activating their human rights. We have these laws to protect us, and we are being battered and battered and battered. And it's not about diffusing responsibility. It's not about going, oh, I'm not paying it. Well, one, I don't know it. I don't owe all my tax credits either. That was cruel what they did. They literally took my kids off of me and literally hit me with a massive big bill for all of my tax credits because I failed to submit my my accounts in the January, February time, ready for April, for 2011, and then my children were taken 2012. So, yeah, we have these things. This is what I say, it's dangerous. How many children are coming out of school understanding Equifax, Experian, credit checks, basic life fundamentals? Because if you fuck your mobile phone up, which was once a luxury and has now become a priority, and you end up with a default on that, you fuck all this up. And if you fuck one of these up, it all topples this. So we have basic things that as long as we keep them foundational and concrete, we always have stability. But you don't get stability in a home. This home could set on fire, just like my children's school. You know, my children's whole education was built in that school that set on fire in the year my son was taking his exams. But he still got to take his exams because his foundations were not built on a building. My foundations and rocks are built within the Trinity. I can't do this in my own strength. I am just a mere fucking mortal, mate. I can only do this in his strength because I'd commit suicide a long time ago without prayer, mate. Because I tell you what, when it gets fucking tough, I just sit here and just go, Lord, like, I can't fight my battles for me right now. I'm tired. I'm tired. In fact, let's do this, Lord. I lift this situation with the bailiffs up to you, Lord. I ask that you protect this home, protect me and my children. I ask in the power and the grace of the Lord that you protect and bind my family as I step through into the court system and face the people that took my children in the court system and caused me trauma. May the door of my house be protected by the strength of the Lord, and may the only people be on the other side of this door, people who understand where I am in my life right now and how I'm moving forward. And that my mum rests upon her heart to understand that all I'm asking for is to just live a normal life and to have people around me that understand that I might go over on my ankle, my knee might pop, my arm might pop, my jaw might crunch, I might have to stop, I might need to rest, and I need to train, and I need to swim. And just because I became a teenage mother, I still was able to grow, and I've sacrificed things for my children. And maybe it's okay for mum to be okay and have her camera and her flashy little skates and all the things that she loves to do. And maybe I'm not a solicitor, maybe I'm not a barrister, maybe I don't have some professional status that makes me something to talk about at the golf club. But I tell you what, I'm not judgmental. I don't steal. I don't go out to ever hurt anybody. I help people who are in most unfortunate situations, even when I have nothing. And even when I was at the most destitute in my life, with my children gone, I still took the time to listen to so many other parents who were grieving and hurting. And I've taken the time to console people, educate people where I can. I've had to stop. Some people don't listen, some people do. But I've still got up every day. And as broke as I have been, I have never robbed. I've got Asda across there. I have never robbed Asda for the milk and the nappies. I've always found a way. Even if I have to walk around this whole city picking up pennies, pounds, 5p pieces, sometimes tenors and £20, yes? Sometimes I am blessed by literally the unfortunate of somebody losing some money. And there's been times that I've lost money and blessed somebody with the money that I've lost. And I do clean and I do try and do things, but I have to have my scan. I don't want to go off sick, but I might have to for a bit just to get that mental health label over me, because that is the only protection in this world right now is fucking mental health. Or gays and lesbians, the LGBT, they got more fucking rights and power than us. So I need some breathing space, and it's this summer. And then I will battle you all this winter. I believe, yeah. I want this summer to be able to think and have some headspace and create some new ideas, new thinking, experiences. And there's some really beautiful places in Cornwall and Devon and Wales that I left to go and see with Aaron and Faith and Liam and Daniel, that we just didn't get the opportunity to do so, because as much as everybody wanted the life that I was going for, they didn't want me to do it. But now you're getting it. Now people are getting that you do have a choice. You can homeschool your kids. You do have a choice. You can send them. You can have whatever lifestyle you want. You just got to work out how much it costs and keep some form of cash machine to keep it going, or exchange time and service, or bartering. If you want to ride a horse, you don't necessarily have to own a horse. It's about leveraging what other people have. And this is the problem, isn't it? Because why would, being that if this person is my great-grandfather and he's died and he's got this artwork and all of this, even though he's a barrister, if that's my bloodline, if that's where my bloodline comes from, if that's where my DNA comes from, and that's my father's side, not my mother's side, my father's side, my father who was a builder, my grandfather, I don't really know what he did. I know he went in the army, I know a couple of other things. But all I know, and all my family knows, is that my granddad's mum was paid and brought off to leave London and go to Brighton. So my granddad was raised in Brighton until he went to my nan and settled in Borden, and had, obviously, my dad. And then my dad had me. I would be, and so would my family, entitled to their inheritance. Well, I don't want it. I don't really want to know that. All I want to know is where my DNA comes from, where my bloodline is, who my family is, who are the people that I get to turn to and go, hey, I'm your daughter. I'm your daughter to my dad and my mum. And, this is who I am. Despite all of this stuff that these people have done to me, and you've all taken on as a belief system and battered me with the same brush, that whatever belief system for why I have this hypermobility, EDS, whatever it is, genetic condition, that at the end of the day, when I'm trying to cut a fucking pepper, I can't unfake what's going on just for the sake of people, for me to be normal, because my family seems to be embarrassed by me not being normal. I'm not what they expected me to be like when they had no expectations for me other than not be a teenage mum. So it's going to be really hard, especially for even social workers, to realise that actually no wonder they've all been quitting and leaving, because they haven't been able to help and support families. My mum says to me, I'm using the social worker as a swimming coach. It's like, God, Mum, if the social worker had been coming swimming with me all this time, they would have actually have been doing a decent fucking job. Social workers don't go swimming with families, mate. Social workers write reports. They write reports. So anyway, I'm sure this will all enter into multi-agency framework soon, and they'll appoint me a debt management person. And in the meantime, mate, I just got to stay sane. Bang from this side, bang from that side, bang from this side, poof from this side. But hey ho, try to explain to people why my trauma exists in that paperwork. Because all Dean's going to hear in there, and all I'm going to hear out here is, boys, I think we better go to the park. Because I'm going to be going in there, you said what, you did what, all over. And this one here, by the way, is the scan from Daniel at Lagham Valley Hospital. And it's all about DNA at the end of the day, isn't it? Our babies and our families and a bunch of people who think they are rulers of a world. So this is basically what I've got to focus on now. I'm not doing an application, I'm doing an injunction. Queen's Bench. And then off to Supreme Court with the third level of my judicial review. And that's all I know. If anybody else can add a piece of a puzzle, you know, if you've got a centrepiece, an edge piece that you know that I need to be doing right now, because I'm going to filter this in. So literally every single one of you can just sit and do the same. Put it in a fucking book if you want, make some freaking money. And go and buy your own land and home and yeah. And we have systems that prevent people from doing this, but I haven't had that opportunity. I didn't know of any court case. I haven't been sent anything, and everything that I do have in there, as I've been trying to explain to everybody around me, is so fucking important for me to get on top of. But all I got was, you know, you got to leave the paperwork, because they all thought it was about Aaron and Faith. Well, it is about Aaron and Faith, but it's a bit more than that. It was a mother that transferred from government benefit income support to tax credits to go self-employed with a business called Challenge Britain, who then ended up in the papers. And who knows, maybe an ex-escort client didn't like me seeing my face in the papers. Who knows? Maybe my blood family didn't like seeing me in the papers. I know my natural mother didn't like seeing me in the papers, because my mother and my sisters trolled me like mental, mate. Completely fucking humiliated and embarrassed and shamed me and lied about me on the post. So, and then I've had people then come back going, oh, she hasn't had her kids taken. Look, she's in the papers with her 4 kids. Well, that was 2010. And it had no relation to me being on Downing Street. That was never the intention for Step Up Britain. Step Up Britain, as it says in the paper, was a manual. It was a manual. It was a training program, like what I need from the personal training people, for people to work through to get their own lives in order, like the situation that I'm in now. And how to actually, instead of going to social services and causing fucking chaos in your life because you didn't know what to do, you can sit down with a fucking, that's how it was meant to have been back then anyway. You could sit down with a Step Up Britain manual that will work out exactly where you are, who you are, what you're trying to achieve, and give you the roadmap for you to get back on track for where you were meant to be really going. I don't know, maybe they didn't like it. Who knows? But I am liking to see the amount of people in lockdown that have been taking the time to reinvent themselves. And it's been beautiful to see. So, anyway, I'm still here. My house is still here. And if I get all this finished and these cunts come in and take it, mate, like,